What's going on, everybody? Deacon here. And something that's been a big deal to me over the past couple of years that I've been practicing a lot is fact checking. Because there's been many a times where I've had a good conversation with somebody and somebody was very passionate about a subject. They're telling me what I feel is useful information, only for me to go and repeat it to somebody else and find out that I was dead wrong. Now I'm sitting there looking all embarrassed, thinking to myself like, man, I thought this person knew what they were talking about. Now, there are many a times where people just spew random things off the top of their head or spew their opinion, and I deal with a lot of that in sports. Now, with sports, it's still a lot of information that can be debatable, even with facts, because at the end of the day, it's all about just basically how you feel and your opinion about a particular subject. Some things within that realm can't be argued, but a lot of things can. The reason why for me fact checking people's information is very important. I've heard people say certain things that is just not true. Like for me, one thing that I took to heart personally is when people just say things like marriage is just a piece of paper. And I'm thinking to myself, man, that's not a true statement. Now don't get me wrong. When it comes to your personal relationship and how you truly love or feel about somebody, a piece of paper is not gonna dictate emotions. And I recently had a conversation with a young man. He was only 17 years old, but he asked a question of why would people get married? They don't really see the point of it. And I wasn't gonna answer it, but I said, you know what, I'll go ahead and do it. And I talked about how there are many legal benefits that come with being married in the United States of America. And of course, he went on and talked about how at his job, there are people who can get benefits for their significant others, whether they're married or not. And I told him, yeah, health benefits, but there are other legal benefits that you can't get in the United States of America unless you are legally married. Because I went on to tell him if marriage wasn't such a big deal in this country and it was only a piece of paper, then why are so many same-sex couples fighting for the right to be legally married? Without me going into too much detail and making this video long, I left a link in the description below to a Forbes article where they explain some of the benefits to being legally married in the United States of America. To put things in perspective, if you've been following the story with Bobby Christina, you notice that her fiance has not been able to see her in the hospital. Why? Because he isn't legally married to her. So the family has the right to block him and deny him for being able to see her. However, if they were legally married, as many people thought they were, this wouldn't have been an issue. He would have been able to go in there and see her. But there is another reason why fact checking became very important to me. If you notice that I said in my last video, because I'm the only male in my house and I'm surrounded by females, I'm still wrong all of the time. I can still never win an argument. Fact checking is the only way I've ever been able to win an argument against my wife. I don't abuse it because then I end up finding myself sleeping on the couch or in the car. But whenever I get an opportunity, every once in a while, to be able to say, I was right. Okay, in honesty, I don't say I was right, but it does feel good to know I was right. But that's all I have for you guys this week. Basically, just to let you guys know that if anytime somebody talks about anything or pass any information, or just because you read it on the internet, make sure you check behind it and make sure that it's really telling the truth instead of somebody telling you their truth. And that comes to anybody, including me. If I say something, because sometimes I might miss information, or I may miss bits, or I might miss little pieces of information that would have been vital to the situation. But as always, be wise, and until I see you guys next time, have a great weekend.